Welcome back to our darling Cookalongs. That's the energy I want to see, Anele.
Yes.
Now we're getting straight back into our delectable Chakalaka Beef stew with creamy mushroom samp recipe. Ladies, take it away. Anele, I see you being Salt Bay.
Yes, you always season, and I love to season on top. It's like the chefy way of doing it. And a bit of pepper, always season, and always remember when the dish is finished, before the time, look at it, taste it, and then season again. Okay. So I'm going on your Jen. Can I please have some potatoes, because we're going to add that.
Sweetheart, look at here. You can just
and then
have as many as
yes, Mama.
You're going to start with the mushrooms that we're going to use for our samp.
Yeah, I'm chopping them as finely as I can. Because the other thing is, when you chop them and they release that liquid, it's going to be easy. They're just basically going to go into that samp and cuddle it and hug it and love it and all of those beautiful things.
South Africa, the way in which our chefs speak about food just gets me so excited. And if you are as excited as we are, please do head over to our Afternoon Express website to get all of these details. I can't say it enough. You are definitely investing in some magic here, because the ladies have thought about everything. Something for the entire family, something nutritious, something hearty, but of course, more importantly, economical. Something that's easy on the pocket.
Absolutely.
And the lovely thing about this is that you can get everyone involved. You see how all four of us are busy.
Yeah, we are, of course.
You literally give someone an instruction, you do this, you do that, and then in the next hour and a half,
You have
done.
Well, actually, yeah, you can get your whole family. We can watch Afternoon Express and come back every 5 minutes and check.
I love that. Okay, so as we're speaking about this recipe and this stew, I see that you've decided to go quite chunky in your vegetables.
I like that, Jen. What do you think about that?
Remember, she said that it's going to take long, slow cooking. So you don't want your vegetables to disintegrate, although it'll be absolutely delicious. You still want the evidence that you are having your veggies. And the nice thing about this stew that Anela's doing is that it's like a one-pot wonder. You know, if you wanted to, I would add, see, I love cabbage.
Yes.
So I would steam some cabbage leaves over the top at the end.
Wow.
And you can add some peas to it. So, I mean, there's...
You can do anything.
Yes,
you can have
5 a day.
so many vegetables for the children.
Exactly.
They won't even know that they're getting like 5 veggies in a day, because there's carrot. You know, and the big thing is green pepper. It is so healthy, green pepper.
It is
And delicious.
Yeah. Thing is with pepper, especially now with this whole COVID thing that is going on, it is such an immune-boosting food, whether it's a red, a green, a yellow, or even an orange. So good, and now it cooks away, so they have no idea.
Yes, that's the thing.
Delicious. Okay, ladies, so as we're going along, it seems like the mushrooms are almost ready, Dumza.
yeah, you can call me Choppy now.
And speaking about being a choppy chummy on Tuesdays, I know a lot of people are going to be cooking along with us and might not necessarily have all the ingredients that we have recommended for the dish. So I like what Jenny did by saying she would add some cabbage. So let's keep that same momentum going. Let's keep that same energy. Dumi, if you had to either subtract an ingredient, add an ingredient, or add your own flair to this recipe, what would you do?
Well, I would also probably add some more butternut into this towards the end because of that sweetness, and also to absorb. If there's too much liquid, let's say for instance you've made your stew and it's too runny, ingredients like vegetables like potatoes and butternut, because they absorb
Starchy, they like
perfect.
to sweet potato rounds. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
In fact, you could have all your veggies cooked, layered in one pot, and then you just portion it out
like a
onto the plate.
boikie.
Oh, hello!
And Anele, I know this is a bit of a cheat asking you, because you are the originator of this recipe. But for everyone at home who might want a different variation, how would they play with it?
I think you can play with it with lamb, number one. First thing, you can change the main ingredient, like the meat. Then you can change all the vegetables, like Jenny said.
Yes.
And play with the samp. We've already cooked samp here.
Okay.
And now we're going to add some mushrooms to our pot, because we're going to make like a mushroom to me. This is like cut.
It's a samp risotto.
Oh, this is so beautifully cut. High five, girlfriend.
I had to make sure.
So we're going to fry some mushrooms in here, and I'm going to add some mushroom stock as well in here, and we're going to add the samp with a bit of water. So we're going to do that just now.
Okay,
and it's just going to flavour the samp. It's going to make it so delicious.
It's adding those layers that we want so well in this dish. And South Africa, please may I just throw the same challenge to you. If you could subtract, add or add your own twist and mix to this recipe, what would it be? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express because I love to try new things in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Put me to the test.
Put you to the test. And people must always, when they make a stew, just if it's especially on the stove and it's not in the oven, just take your spoon and go down at the bottom so it doesn't burn, like completely burn. But I need a bit of your chakalaka because that's going in.
That's going in. Okay, I love that. Yeah, I think my chakalaka is done.
Look at this, people. Pali's chakalaka. I think it is gorgeous.
I mean, Jenny, if you were to rate my chakalaka, what would you rate it?
Well, if you took it out of the tin, I might have something different to say, but I'm very impressed. You see how easy it is. But you know what? You can from a can because I would fry some cabbage to give it texture, and then you add your can. So you can bluff. You know, we bluff all the time. I mean, hello, so you can bluff. But I want to say something, just going back to this pot, about how do you make the perfect stew. Often my listeners on radio say to me, and my meat is so tough, and I keep having to add water, and I say, how big is the pot you're using? Do you understand? Because you have this reduction and evaporation happening. So what Anola's got here is she's got the perfect size pot to hold those ingredients, and as they cook and they steam and all that condensation goes up, it just comes back down into it, and you're not losing any moisture. So we were talking about hugging, baby. The meat is being hugged by the juice and the sauce. Very important.
Yeah, and another tip I want to add is people constantly cook stew and keep opening and closing.
Don't do it.
You're not giving a chance to steam.
Exactly.
So close it and leave it. That's why casseroles are so great, because you put it in the oven and
you leave
next
it
thing you know, it's melt in your mouth and it just falls off the bone.
I'm definitely one of those people in the kitchen where I cannot keep my eyes or my hands off the pot. Maybe it's just I'm just too greedy. I'm just too hungry. So I'm always trying to check if it's cooked or if it's ready or not. But no, okay, so we've got some great tips here. First of all, Jenny, I have not realized the importance of the size of your pot.
Very important.
I grew up in a large family, so I always just assumed that the size of the pot has to do with how much food is being prepared.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, but if you're making less, you don't need that big pot. If you want absolute succulence and you want perfection when it comes to a stew, let it swim, baby, and keep it nice and close.
Keep it nice and close. We might be keeping our social distancing here in the kitchen, but our food is all coming together. Okay, stunning.
I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to just fry this up, and then after the break, we'll do something, carry on.
We're going to continue.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Our main course is almost complete. So coming up, we add a finishing touch and to plate our hearty beef stew and mushroom samp recipe.
Clover Classic, a creamy, timeless taste made with love by Clover.